decide to leave, I understand. But before you do, there's something I'd like to show you.
Kion's roar isn't just a cool power, it's way more than that. What if it's a sign he's not really Simba's son at all, but a magical lion sent to save the Pride Lands? We've all seen how the roar can do crazy things like make giant lion heads in the sky and control the weather. But have you ever stopped to wonder why Kion has this power and not Kiara or any other lion cub? In this video, we're gonna look at all the clues that show Kion might be more than just a regular lion cub. We'll dig into old Pride Lands legends about a chosen one who will bring balance to the animal kingdom. Sound familiar? It's like Kion's whole story was planned by these spirit lions, and maybe he's not who we thought he was at all. By the end of this video, you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew about Kion and the Lion Guard. So we've all seen Kion's roar in action, right? But have you ever stopped to think about how weird it really is? I mean, it's not just a regular lion roar, it's something totally different and special. But why does Kion have this crazy power and not Kiara or any other lion cub in the Pride Lands? It doesn't make sense if you think about it. Remember the first time we saw Kion use the roar? He was just playing around with Bunga, and suddenly boom, this giant lion head appears in the sky and knocks over a bunch of animals. It was wild, and Kion had no idea what was happening, but that was just the beginning, because as we kept watching the Lion Guard, we found out the roar can do all sorts of crazy things. Like, did you see when Kion made tornadoes with his roar or caused earthquakes? That's not normal lion stuff at all. And get this, the roar can even bring back the dead. How crazy is that? It's like Kion has some kind of magical superpower, but where did it come from and why does he have it? What if the roar isn't just a cool ability? What if it's a sign that Kion is different from other lions, maybe even different from his own family? Because think about it, why would Simba and Nala's son suddenly have this incredible power that no one else has ever had before? It doesn't add up unless there's something else going on. Maybe the roar is connected to some kind of ancient lion magic that's been around for a long time, like way before Simba or even Mufasa were born. We don't really know much about the history of the Pride Lands, do we? What if there were magical lions way back in the past, and somehow Kion is connected to them? We see Kion use the roar to save his friends in the Pride Lands over and over again. It's like he always knows exactly when to use it and how, but sometimes the roar does things Kion doesn't expect. Like, remember that time when it almost hurt his mom? Nala, that was scary, and Kion felt terrible about it. But what if the roar has a mind of its own? What if it's trying to tell Kion something important? Maybe it's not just a weapon or a tool. Maybe it's alive in some way. And it chose Kion for a reason we don't understand yet, because think about all the times Kion used the roar, and it did exactly what was needed to save the day, even when Kion himself wasn't sure what to do. So what if the roar is actually a sign that Kion is connected to these ancient lion spirits who picked him out for some special purpose we don't know about yet? It would explain why he got this power and not some other lion cub, and why the roar seems to know things Kion doesn't. But if that's true, then we have to ask ourselves, why did they pick Kion? What makes him so special that these ancient spirits, or whatever they are, would give him this incredible power and not choose Kiara or another lion we know about? There must be something really important about Kion that we haven't figured out yet. Okay, so we've been talking about Kion's roar and how it might be connected to some ancient lion spirits, right? But what if there's even more to it than we thought? Because there's this old story in the Pride Lands about a special lion who's supposed to bring balance to all the animals, and it sounds like they're talking about Kion. But here's the crazy part, this story is way older than Kion. So what if Kion isn't just Simba's son? What if he's this chosen one from the old stories, and that's why he got the roar in the first place? Think about it. The story says this special lion will have a powerful roar and be able to talk to the great kings of the past, and that's exactly what Kion does, right? We see him talking to Mufasa's spirit all the time and getting advice about how to be a good leader. But what if Mufasa isn't just helping Kion because he's family? What if he's part of a bigger plan? Maybe all the great kings of the past have been waiting for Kion to be born so they could guide him and make sure he becomes this chosen one who's supposed to save everyone. And have you ever noticed how Kion makes friends with all kinds of animals, not just lions, and they all trust him right away? It's like they can sense there's something special about him. But what if it's more than that? What if Kion is actually fulfilling this ancient prophecy about a chosen one who'll unite all the animals and bring peace to the Pride Lands that would explain why he got picked to lead the Lion Guard, even though he's not the oldest cub? But here's the really weird part. If Kion is this special chosen one, then how come nobody told him about it? We see him using the roar and talking to Mufasa, but he doesn't seem to know that he might be part of some big destiny. So what's going on there? Are the spirit lions keeping it a secret from him on purpose? Or does Kion know more than he's letting on? Because when we look at how Kion acts in a crisis, it's like he always knows exactly what to do, even when things get really crazy. Remember that time when Kion had to save the Pride Lands from that big storm, and he used the roar to control the wind and the rain? It was like he knew exactly how to use his power, even though he'd never done anything like that before. So what if Kion has some kind of instinct or knowledge that comes from being this chosen one, and he doesn't even realize it? Maybe the roar is actually guiding him and showing him what to do in these big moments. But if all of this is true and Kion really is this magical chosen one from the old stories, then we have to ask ourselves, why now? Why did the spirit lions or whoever's behind all this decide that now was the time to bring back the roar and choose Kion? What's coming to the Pride Lands that's so big and scary that they needed to create a whole new Lion Guard with this super powerful leader? So we've been talking about Kion being this special chosen one, right? But what if there's even more going on here that we don't know about? Because when we look at how Kion acts in the Lion Guard, it's like he's got some kind of secret knowledge or something. Like he always seems to know exactly what to do, even when he's facing a problem he's never seen before. And that's pretty weird when you think about it. Remember when Kion first met Ono, and he just knew right away that Ono would be perfect for the keenest of sight in the Lion Guard. It's like Kion could see something in Ono that nobody else could see, and he didn't even have to think about it, he just knew. And then there was that time when Janja and the hyenas were trying to take over Flatridge Rock, and Kion figured out how to stop them, even though he'd never been there before. How did he do that? It's not just that Kion is smart or brave, because lots of lions are smart and brave, but Kion's different. It's like he's got some kind of special wisdom that other lions don't have, and sometimes he says things that sound really old, like he's way older than he actually is. But how is that possible? Unless there's something else going on here that we don't know about. What if Kion isn't just getting help from Mufasa's spirit? What if all the great kings of the past are actually guiding him all the time without him even realizing it? Maybe every time Kion faces a new challenge, the spirits are whispering in his ear, telling him what to do, and that's why he always seems to know the right thing to say or do, even when nobody else does. And have you ever noticed how Kion sometimes has these weird dreams where he talks to animals he's never even met before? What if those aren't just regular dreams? What if Kion is actually connecting to some kind of spirit world when he's asleep, and that's how he's learning all this stuff that he shouldn't know? It would explain why he's so good at solving problems that nobody else can figure out. But if Kion's getting all this help from the spirits, then why does he still make mistakes sometimes? Like, remember when he used the roar and it almost hurt his mom? Nala, that was pretty scary, and Kion felt really bad about it. So what's going on there? Are the spirits not always helping him, or is there something else we're missing? Maybe Kion's actually tapping into this ancient lion wisdom without even realizing it. Like, he's got all this knowledge inside him, but he doesn't know how to use it properly yet. And that's why sometimes things go wrong when he tries to use his powers. It's like he's still learning how to control this big destiny that he's part of. But if all of this is true, and Kion really is connected to these ancient lion spirits, and he's got all this secret knowledge, then we have to ask ourselves, why him? Why did the spirits choose Kion for this big important job and not some other lion cub? There's gotta be something really special about Kion that we haven't figured out yet. And what if there's even more to it than that? What if Kion's not the only special lion out there? What if there are other cubs who have powers like his, but we just haven't met them yet? Maybe Kion's part of a whole group of chosen ones, and he doesn't even know it yet, and they're all supposed to come together to do something really important. Okay, so we've been talking about how Kion might be part of this bigger group of special lions with powers, right? But what if there's even more to this story that we haven't figured out yet? Because when we look at Kion's journey to the Tree of Life, there's so much mystery around why he really went there and what he learned, and it makes you wonder what else could be going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. We all thought Kion was going to the Tree of Life just to heal his scar, but what if that's not the real reason he went there at all? What if the spirit lions sent sent him there on purpose to learn something super important about who he really is, because the Tree of Life isn't just a place where animals go to get better. It's also this magical place where they learn really important stuff, and maybe the spirit lions knew Kion needed to go there to discover his true purpose. Think about it, when Kion gets to the Tree of Life, he starts meeting all these new animals and learning about different ways of doing things. But the weird thing is, a lot of these animals already seem to know who Kion is, even though they've never met him before. How is that possible unless there's something bigger going on here? What if the Tree of Life is actually a place where all the animal spirits come together and they've been waiting for Kion to show up this whole time? And remember how Kion starts learning how to use his roar in all these new ways at the Tree of Life. It's like he's unlocking new powers that he didn't even know he had before. But why is he learning all this stuff now, and why at the Tree of Life? What if Kion's scar was just an excuse to get him to go on this journey and discover his true purpose? Maybe the spirit lions knew he needed to go there to learn how to use his powers properly. But here's the really crazy part. What if Kion's not the only special lion who's been to the Tree of Life? What if there are other lions with powers like his who've gone there before to learn about their abilities and maybe even to meet each other? Because think about it, we've never seen any other lions with powers like Kion's, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. What if there's a whole group of chosen ones out there, and they all had to go to the Tree of Life to learn about their destiny? And what if the animals at the Tree of Life have been waiting for Kion to show up because they know he's part of this bigger group of special lions? Maybe they've been preparing for his arrival for a long time, and that's why they seem to know so much about him already. What if there's some kind of prophecy about these chosen lions coming together to do something really important, and Kion's journey to the Tree of Life is just the first step in making that happen? But if all of this is true and Kion really is part of some bigger destiny, then what does that mean for the future of the Pride Lands and all the animals? Because we've seen how powerful Kion's roar is on its own, but what if it's even more powerful when it's combined with the abilities of other special lions? What kind of amazing things could they do together? And what kind of threats are out there that would need a whole group of magical lions to stop them? And here's something else to think about. What if Kion's not just learning about his powers at the Tree of Life? What if he's also learning about the history of these special lions and where their abilities come from? Because we still don't really know why Kion has the roar in the first place, or why it can do all these incredible things. Maybe there's some kind of ancient lion magic that's been around for a long time, and Kion's just the latest in a long line of lions who've had these powers. But if that's true, then why haven't we heard about any of these other special lions before? What happened to them, and why aren't they around anymore? Maybe something bad happened in the past that made all the magical lions disappear, and now Kion's the first one to show up in a really long time, and that's why it's so important for him to learn about his powers and his destiny. And what if Kion's journey to the Tree of Life is just the beginning of something much bigger? What if he's going to have to go on more adventures to find these other special lions and bring them all together? Maybe there's some kind of big threat coming to the Pride Lands that's going to need all of their powers combined to stop it. And Kion's trip to the Tree of Life is just the first step in getting ready for that. So we've been on this wild journey exploring all the clues about Kion's true identity and destiny, and wow, it's like everything we thought we knew about the Lion Guard has been turned upside down. Because what if Kion isn't just Simba's son? What if he's actually this magical lion sent by ancient spirits to save the Pride Lands and bring balance to all the animals? It's mind-blowing to think about, right? When we look back at all the weird things that have happened with Kion's roar and how he always seems to know what to do in a crisis, it's like there's something bigger going on here that we're only just starting to understand. Maybe Kion's whole story is just the beginning of this huge adventure that's gonna change everything in the Pride Lands and beyond. Next time you watch The Lion Guard, try to look for all those little clues that show Kion might be more than just a regular lion cub. Maybe you'll spot something we missed and uncover even more secrets about his true destiny, because who knows what other amazing things Kion might be capable of that we haven't even seen yet.